Resolution 29-13 nominates a director to serve on the Western Interstate Region WIR Board of Directors. Nominates Councilmember Dennis Fresh Onishi to serve as a director on the WIR Board of Directors. Regarding Communication 49, introduced by Mr. Onishi, waived GREDC.
Mr. Onishi.
Move to approve Resolution 29-13.
Second. Seconded by Mr. Kanuha. Mr. Onishi, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's just to have our council to approve appointing me as the WIR director for the HSAC, and my other co-director would be Mel Rapoza from Kauai.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Ford.
How many more trips is this going to take per year to be on this board?
Beg your pardon again? What was that?
How many more trips to the mainland will it take to be a director on this board?
Depends on what meetings I go to, but it's like I'm being appointed to be the director, or one of the directors for WIR. And so Mr. Rapoza could go, or I could go, so we could alternate.
How many trips
I don't know.
per year?
There's two conferences that the WIR holds, okay? And I think one is coming up in June, I think.
To be a director, does it require more trips than the two conferences?
It's up to the director on what he wants to go. Like I said, we could alternate, or Mr. Rapoza could go to the two, and he would report back to HSAC on what's happening at the conference.
Okay, I'm having an issue with this because of our budget. Mr. Chairman, you've been telling me that we're very strapped for money, and that this is going to cost more trips to the mainland. I can't support this. I don't know how many people are planning to go to these conferences, but the last term we kept it very tight. I think with just the regular designated person plus the alternate. The alternate brought back lots of information that we were able to use. But, I just, if Mel is going to be going to this, I see no reason that this council should have to pay for any additional trips to go. We're in trouble financially, according to what you're telling me. So I can't support this. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, can I?
Go ahead, Mr. Onishi.
Okay. The reimbursement comes from HSAC, so that the director of WIR gets reimbursed the expenses from HSAC. So it's not coming out from our county funds. And also, most council members do not attend this conference. They usually attend the national conference.
Okay.
Did you want to respond to him
yes,
before I move on?
Yes, I would like to.
Go ahead.
I wish you had said that in the beginning. I keep asking the question, but you're not giving me
Now I understand what you meant, but because you just asked about who's going to go.
Well, you're going to pay. I said because of the budget.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Okay, Miss Willie.
Okay, I apologize for my ignorance, but I would just appreciate someone telling me a little bit what this is about. I mean, and also just in terms of whoever goes to a meeting, and this isn't specific to you or to any meeting, but I really feel the value of whoever does it to bring back and do a communication and share with all of us. And if there are materials, I'm really into an information person, would really appreciate when anyone does attend things that to share them. So, but I really don't know about it. And let me just stress, the other thing is that the National Association of Counties, I do think that that's something that I agree with, I think it was Macio said, is trying to encourage a number of us and trying to, if there is money for trips, putting the money towards that as a priority. So I'm glad that you communicated that this is not going to impact our budget. Yeah. So I just, if someone would share a little bit, so I don't feel that I'm ignorant as to what exactly is going on here at this meeting.
Okay. The Western Interstate region, it's I guess comprised of 13 states, 13 different on the West Coast side. And what happened is that you have the national, which is going to be happening in March. Then they break it down into different regions. So like you have the Midwest and the South and so forth. So we are considered on the Western Interstate. So that, like I said, so it includes 13 different states like California, Oregon, Washington State, Nevada, and so forth. Okay, so what happens at this conference, they do have like speakers who come in, and then they also have where any director could do proposals where the region would adopt, and that would be forwarded to the national. Okay, but like I said, like if I do not attend, and then say Council Member Mel Rapoza attends, he will get all the info. So he will make the report to HSAC on what happened at the conference. So if you're requesting like a communication, then we would have to ask Mr. Rapoza, Councilman Rapoza, or after we get the report or the like after we get our minutes from HSAC, then that's always included in the minutes when we have a HSAC meeting afterwards, when we get together. Yeah. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yes, if I just respond. Yes, and I'm just saying that to the extent possible, I actually like to have whatever is handed out, whatever, maybe in a more in-depth level of communication than would possibly be what I would expect to be in minutes, and whether it's this person, Mel, or whether it's you, to actually have a discussion among all of us as to perhaps in advance what we might want to propose to that Western Conference, and also what is done there, so we know what would be going on to the national. So I appreciate our participation in this, and I just want to maximize the involvement, at least at this point, with the entire council. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. William. Ms. Ford.
Thank you. I'm sorry. At this meeting, you're saying there are proposals. Where do these proposals come from?
From the directors. So
Okay,
you put your proposal on the agenda, and at like a certain committee, depending on what it is about, so you have to get it to a committee. So for example, on NACO, I'm on the transportation committee. So if there's any proposals that I wanted to see where it's going to affect all the counties, that's going to, if it's going to affect the counties, I'll submit that. If I get the votes, then that proposal would be put into the package of NACO, and that would be submitted to the federal government.
Okay.
So this is just like a secondary where we get it from the regional, and we get the support, and then that can be put into the national.
All right. So can you make proposals outside of the Transportation Committee?
We could, yes.
Okay. So what proposals in or outside of the Transportation Committee are you prepared to make in 2 months?
I haven't gotten any word of what's happening on the conference yet. We haven't gotten any information.
Summer? Is it summertime?
I think it's in the summer. Yeah. I don't even know when the meeting is coming up. We haven't gotten any info.
Okay, so I'm confused. Is the Western Interstate Region Conference in March?
No, that's the NACO.
The
in
NACO
March.
one. Okay.
That's
so
the national.
in the summertime, summertime,
Correct.
there will be the WIR.
Correct.
Okay. So how do you obtain, or how do you decide what types of?
Well, I guess then that would be going to the next, because NACO, I think they meet twice a year.
Okay.
They have 2 national conferences. So if you miss like the March one, then when you do the summer, the regional, that would go to the next conference. Mr. Chair has the times.
Yeah, actually, Ms. Ford, just for clarification, the WIR is in May 22nd, and the other NACO conference is in July.
Okay. So we have a budget cycle going on in May. You don't have to be here, but the budget cycle will be going on. So that's a concern. I'm not saying no, I'm saying it's a concern. And the other thing is I'm still not quite aware how legislation or resolutions or whatever you want to call them gets input. If it's just one person on this council that says, well, I've decided I want to forward a suggestion, I mean, that leaves the rest of us out. So I would be interested to know in advance what your proposals are.
Well, in the past, my past 4 years and 2 years, I was on this. I was a director of WIR. I was never appointed on a committee at the national level, which now I am. I'm on the transportation board, and so now I have to gather more information of what the process is going to be. But to me, I think even prior when I was before council, I don't think any council member who was a representative of WIR, because the last 2 years that we were here, none of our council members who were our representatives on WIR came to and asked us if there's any proposals or resolutions that we wanted to propose to the national.
They weren't directors, right?
One person was. But yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but that so this is going to be like being on the transportation board. It's going to be a learning experience because now you're dealing. I mean, when you go to one of those meetings, you have like over 100-something people that are on the board. But yeah.
Okay.
Ms. Willie?
Yeah, just quickly, I think we've got sort of three tied-in positions. There's the HSAC for our state level, and then we have this Western one, and then we have the national. And I would like to sort of jump on this and maybe set up a communication for one of our next meetings so we discuss what we might want to get on even this national agenda and might be wanting support, whether it has to do with transportation or it has to do with Medicaid or Medicare reimbursement rates. So I just, again, looking to be more educated and not wait for maybe the second round of these, but actually while we have a whole new Congress here and new senators that we really tie some connections in and see if we can get some things done that require a local, state, federal level of cooperation. Thank you.
Okay, I just got, Mr. Chair, can I speak again? I just got an email from the chairman of the Transportation Board saying that, if we do have any proposals, that we need to submit it by the end of January. And I just got, Ms. Ford, I just got it this past week, so don't roll your eyes to me.
Hey.
Hold on.
No,
Hold on. Let's just focus on the issue. Okay.
But I just letting you folks know what happened. That's when I got my information, so I'm just forwarding it to you folks. But it's not my fault.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Okay, I think we're ready for the vote. Mr. Clerk.
Ms. Eoff,
Aye.
Ms. Ford,
Kanalua twice.
Mr. Iligan,
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha,
Aye.
Mr. Kern,
Aye.
Mr. Onishi, Ms. Poindexter,
Aye.
Ms. Willie,
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto.
Aye.
Chair, you have 9 ayes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Resolution 29-13 is approved. Council members, I see Ms. Bonk and Mr. Hayashi here. Can we take those items out of order if there's no objections?
I'm sorry to do this because it's out of sequence. On the one that we just passed to make Mr. Onishi the WIR director, I'd like to go back to that just as a comment. I want to say this in public so we're not doing a sunshine law. Would you ask Mr. Onishi to provide all of the council members with a letter on how to or who to whom to write resolutions so that we all have that?
You made the comment.
You'll provide that? Because I noticed our deadline was yesterday and for the next meeting before January to pass something. So I'd like to make sure all of us get that. I want that to be